Hi everyone. Today we're tackling a common issue many of us face with our power tools. Specifically, we're going to talk about replacing a blown fuse in a Dewalt battery charger. It's frustrating when your charger suddenly stops working, but often, the fix is simpler than you think. A blown fuse is a very common culprit, and replacing it can save you money and get your tools back in action quickly. This is an easy repair you can do yourself. Let's get started with the steps. First and foremost, safety is absolutely paramount. Before you do anything, make sure your Dewalt charger is completely unplugged from the wall outlet. Double check that there's no power going to it at all. Even after unplugging, some internal components might hold a residual charge, so always exercise caution. Wear safety glasses to protect your eyes. Use insulated tools if possible. Never work on a live electrical circuit. It is extremely dangerous. Once you've ensured safety, the next step is to open the charger casing. You'll typically find several Phillips head screws on the bottom or sides of the charger. Carefully remove all of these screws. Then, gently pry open the casing. You might need a plastic prying tool to avoid damaging the plastic. Take note of how the internal components are arranged, as this will help you when reassembling it later. With the casing open, you need to locate the fuse. The fuse is usually a small, cylindrical component, either glass or ceramic, with metal caps on each end. It's often found near the power input area on the circuit board. Sometimes it's held in a fuse clip, and sometimes it's soldered directly to the board. Visually inspect the fuse. A blown fuse often has a visible break in the tiny wire inside, or it might look discolored or cloudy. To be absolutely sure, you can use a multimeter set to continuity mode. Touch the probes to each end of the fuse. If the multimeter beeps or shows a very low resistance, the fuse is good. If it shows OL or no continuity, the fuse is indeed blown. This confirms your diagnosis. Now, identifying the correct fuse rating is critical. Look very closely at the blown fuse. Printed on one of its metal caps, you will see numbers indicating its amperage, e.g., 5A for 5 amps, and voltage, e.g., 250V for 250 volts. There might also be a letter indicating its type, like F for fast blow or T for slow blow. You must replace the blown fuse with an identical one in terms of amperage, voltage, and type. Using a fuse with a higher amperage rating is extremely dangerous and can lead to serious damage to your charger or even a fire. Never, ever bypass the fuse. Once you have the correct replacement fuse, you can proceed. If the fuse is in a clip-style holder, simply pull out the old fuse and push in the new one, ensuring it's seated firmly. If the fuse is soldered directly to the circuit board, you will need a soldering iron and desoldering wick or a desoldering pump. Carefully solder the old fuse, clean the pads, and then solder the new fuse in place, making sure you create solid, clean solder joints. Avoid cold solder joints, which can cause intermittent issues. With the new fuse installed, it's time to reassemble the charger. Carefully close the casing, making sure no wires are pinched or out of place. Replace all the screws and gently tighten them. Do not over-tighten, as this can strip the plastic. Finally, plug the charger back into the wall outlet. Watch and listen for any unusual smells or sounds. Then, test it with a Dewalt battery. The charger should now power on and begin charging your battery normally. Congratulations, you've successfully repaired your Dewalt battery charger. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found this guide helpful and that it saved you some money. If it did, please consider giving this video a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Also, if you want to see more useful tips, repairs, and DIY projects, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. See you next time.